I have to, yeah.
I support people doing what's best for them. So if this is what's best for you, then that's what I support. You know,
Mm-hmm.
self-compassion, self-compassion. Oh my
Yes.
Jesus, and being kind just to yourself. That has been a feat
Yes.
in itself with me. We are not taught, you know, because especially if you deal with trauma, we're not taught this growing up. That,
No.
you know, and the way, and we learn to talk to ourselves the way we've heard people talk to us. And so
And
it's like, oh my Jesus, and
yeah.
that makes it hard this time of the year too, because we got to go face family who's not really been kind
Mm-hmm.
to us. And we feel like we have to show up or we're going to make Aunt Susie mad, you know? Well, you know what I did? I
We
learned
don't
how
want
to
to trigger
show up.
her.
Yeah, but here's how I get around that, which now I'm not this year, but before I would show up and I would stay like 10 minutes and I would leave, and I learned that they were less likely to get mad at me if I at least showed up. So I would show up and I would say hello and I would go home.
Jeanette's workaround, guys, for dealing with family during the holidays.
Well, I mean, it
Show
was like
up,
it,
just don't stay.
and if I didn't go, I had to hear it. But if I went and I said hello, hi, I'm gonna eat some food, and I bounced. And my family got off my back for a while, so I was like, this is how I'm gonna do it because I do not like family events. I mean, I love the fact that people have big families and loving
Mm.
families, but unfortunately, I don't have that. You know,
Mm.
and so
And
and
I
I
was
think a lot of
lucky in
people
that
do.
regard.
You know,
Not
um,
seems not nowadays. Seems not nowadays. There isn't a lot of willingness to give that love, and and we're taught that this is a time of year for giving,
right.
right?
So what if you don't
And
have a lot of money? Oh my Jesus, then that makes it even worse. Because this is also
well,
the time of
that's
year you want to buy gifts, and if you don't have no money, then you
right.
just, I don't know. Holidays is hard, 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 hard.
It is. My family and I, we made a deal several years ago now that we're not going to buy gifts for each other. I would rather have I would rather have a meal, bring a portion of a
Right.
meal. If you feel compelled to buy a gift, this was our rule, then you may buy a board game and
Okay,
add
I'd
it
be
to the
down for that.
collection.
I love board games.
So we had quite a collection of board games. And now, one of my daughters, when she moved um, out, she asked for the board games. And I was like, well, if you're taking over all the traditional stuff, actually, I don't even care. Just take them all because my husband and I, there's no kids here anymore. We're not going to play them. I used to do all of the big dinner and the turkey and the potatoes and all the fixings and everything. And I have not done that in years because I haven't been able to spend that much time standing in my kitchen and cooking. So we don't celebrate a whole lot, and we don't do gifts, and we haven't for a long time because it's just, if you need something, you'll get it. And I mean, keep in mind, this is after my children are all adults.
Right.
I'm not gonna I didn't do that to my kids when they were little. You're not getting gifts this year.
But you bring a good point up. You're also getting to something else I was going to talk about. Letting go
Yeah.
of other people's expectations. Do what's best for you.
Yes.
Because what you're getting around to, you're doing what's best for you and your husband, and you're not doing what maybe other people expect or what society expects. Because who
Mm-hmm.
cares what society expects? Do what's best for you.
Exactly. 100% I agree with that. And that is
If
that
if
is
you're
so
happy,
true.
if you're happy, if you and your husband are content and happy with the way you do your holidays, that is all that matters at your home.
Something else I want to throw in on expectations is when we have expectations of other people, that's how we become disappointed in them. Because
Good point.
that is something that is a, we want someone to do or behave or say or live or dress how we expect them to. And when they don't do that, we're disappointed. And that feeling causes wedges.
Oh,
right?
sis,
Like
you just opened up a can. You're getting to a topic to a whole show within itself.
expectations. Well, this is
Yes.
what I do. This is what I've been doing here forever. Like I'm just gonna let's take a topic and just rip it apart and get into all
Well,
different nooks and crannies.
the holidays and expectations is a lot of the reasons why people are depressed. You're expected,
Yes.
it's a time of the year you're expected to be with family. Well, if you don't have a loving
Yes.
family, they're going to make you feel like crap about yourself. So when you go home, you know, oh God, from like Thanksgiving to Christmas, you have to dread going back and seeing your family at Christmas because you barely made it through Thanksgiving. I mean, it is hard.
Absolutely.
I feel so bad for
Absolutely.
folks, because I've been there.
Yep. I totally agree. And it's just sorry,
But I think that some expectations, like I'll give you an example. For me, I expect people to be honest, right? And that's something that I can't be around folks that's not honest. So I think
yeah,
that
I
is
have
like a
that
moral
issue.
expectation. But like from what
Yeah.
you were talking about, like the way people dress, the way people do things, um, yeah, we shouldn't, you know, those kind of
Well,
expectations do set you up for disappointment, I think, because
and
everybody's different.
there's a right, and then are you when you have those expectations in that way, does that make you a judgmental person?
Well, that's
I mean,
it.
these are all thoughts.
That could be, but it could be just me too because from my past, from my C-Ptsd and things, I require a certain level of transparency before I can be in a relationship that I trust folks. Um,
Yes.
so I think it's like a health balance, maybe, like
Yeah,
a delicate balance. You know, and
absolutely.
I don't mean like you know I'm working on this in therapy. Some things are not big. Like
Thank
somebody may
you.
not
Hi,
tell you something
fantastic.
about themselves because they might be embarrassed, right? So that's not a big,
Yes.
huge thing, right? And then
Yeah.
there's some things where people will just tell you a flat out lie, and that's bad. Well, with my CPTSD or whatever, I can't differentiate. I'm working on differentiating because I would write people off and not even know it as soon as I call them anything. So I'm working on that. That's a personal thing I'm trying to work on.
Yeah, and I think that there's a lot of people that are in that same type of mindset where like if it's uncomfortable for me, then I don't want anything to do with it. I mean, I know that's minimizing, and I'm not meaning to do that because I know what your situation is, but a lot of folks nowadays are like that. Like, I can't, you've made me feel uncomfortable, so therefore I can't be around you. Or you don't agree with my narrative, so therefore I can't be friends with you. I can't talk to you anymore. You're toxic.
Oh, that's a whole epidemic.
Yes, it is, absolutely.
But for me,
And
I was a
it's,
people pleasing phoner, so no, I wouldn't I just wouldn't trust people. I'd keep them around, but I'll just, I'd always be questioning, are they telling me the truth?
yes.
Constantly asking myself and finding patterns. And what's wild is I didn't even realize I was doing this till I started CPT therapy. I didn't know that's what I've
Yeah.
been doing all my life. That was a huge
Well,
eye
because
opener.
you're in survival mode. We are responsible for our own feelings and others can be triggered. Exactly. So this is a comment from a fantastic. She's wonderful, by the way. Triggers, yes. It can be triggers for others. And when they're triggered, then they sometimes get angry and act on emotion. And I
Oh,
feel like
yeah.
you're very much a person who takes the time to consider that I'm not going to react based from my emotion. I'm going to ask some questions for clarity and then decide.
Now. I haven't always been this
Yeah.
way.
Yes, I know.
Um,
Me
but
neither. I was kind of an
ain't
asshole at
nothing.
one point.
I can't learn anything the easy way. You know, if I know
No.
things right now, it's probably because I have messed up enough. You know, I learned from my mistakes, so I will. I mean, I'll
Yeah,
admit
yeah,
that.
yeah. Yeah. And we all should, but we all don't. I mean, and that's real. That's reality, right? So if you're just tuning in, thank you for being here. This is Jeanette. We're doing
Hi.
a presentation on or mental health check-in really for the holidays coming up. We're talking about seasonal affective disorder, how it affects people with C-Ptsd, because the same kind of treatments aren't going to work. If you're bipolar, how it would affect you there, like the same treatments aren't going to work because if you go to a doctor and you're prescribed medication, it may not work for you if you have something like C-Ptsd or bipolar disease because your brain chemistry is different.
Right.
And so there are other layers of things that we can learn to do to cope through the months that are difficult for us. The holidays put an exceptional amount of pressure on people, not just because of the holidays, but there's all kinds of different things like anxiety for seeing family that aren't very nice to us, anxiety about money because we have to buy presents, anxiety over maybe going into places where there's too much stimulation, sensory
Oh, that's a
stimulation.
big one. That is a really big one,
Yeah.
especially if you
What?
have like sensory, you know, because that does kind of what is it called? What's the word with have dual things going on, Angela, which is very common
Uh,
with mental health.
Comorbid, comorbid
Yeah,
or
because
coexisting.
the sensory stuff comes along with that too, and holidays do play
Yes.
on that, and that's
Yes.
not talked
So
about enough.
no, it's not. And this comes to like people that have undiagnosed things like autism.
Right.
So sometimes they're triggered by all of if you have big family gatherings, for example, there's going to be a lot of movement, a lot of noise. So there's a lot of sensory stimulation there. There's a lot of smells because there's a lot of cooking, there's a lot of food, there's a lot of maybe candles or scents like from the tree, from who knows what kind of smells. It's sensory overload. And for
Yeah.
somebody that has neurodivergence, they could be very triggered by that. Like it could set their nervous system completely out of whack.
Right.
And then they're going to have to leave, or they're going to have a complete meltdown in the middle of Christmas dinner, and that's no fun. So there's